of racing here today as a team, as a young 15-year-old alongside Olympians that are out there today as well. And they'll learn and glean a lot of experience off that.
So Mackenzie continues to lead this impressive young man from Tasman, representing Marcos, the South Island zone. This is the men's 400 metres under 15. And Marcos get 26 points out of this. And lane 5 at Zach Reed from Aquanites. And in that battle for second and third, how does that help them? Nicholas Pride from Marcos. So first and third, I think, for Marcos. That's impressive. Aquanites fourth as well. Harlequins fifth. So all stars are going to drop down after this race, with Cam Gillespie finishing in sixth place.
Yeah, sixth and eighth where they finished for the All-Stars team. It just
takes one race, doesn't it?
Yep, it does.
So there we are, Sam Mackenzie, another victory for him as the big boys step up now in the same event, the 400 freestyle. Lane 1, it's Devlin Forsyth, Joshua Taylor-Martin, Ewan Jackson in 3, Chris McFadden, Liam Albury, Nathan Capp in 6, Dominic Milden and Thomas Heaton. Men's 400 freestyle. Good start there from Ewan Jackson. We saw him swim very well against Capp earlier in the night. Capp swimming in lane 6, Liam Albury in lane 5.
Yeah, you mentioned the good start by Ewan Jackson. You'd expect that because he has more 100 and 200 metres freestyle versus Nathan Capp, who's a 400 individual medley swimmer or a 1500 swimmer. And we've already seen Nathan Capp come and win the gold in the 1500 metres freestyle. Took it out pretty relaxed. He was in second, third position over the first part of the race. In the 400 now, he's having to have to work a little bit harder because he knows it's a bit more of a shorter event, and he doesn't want to let the sprinters dominate it early.
So Capp with Albury in lane 5 next to him. Down here, we've got Ewan Jackson in 3, so he turns second equal alongside Albury. Up at the top in lane 7, Dominic Milden shows out. Chris McFadden in the centre in lane 4 as well. Joshua Taylor-Martin, Devlin Forsyth in 1.
For some of these swimmers too, John, they'll be looking at this 400 freestyle as a training base to be able to race down to the 200 metres freestyle, and particularly for the going forward into the Olympic Games as a potential 4x200 metres freestyle. Not all of these swimmers will make it, but if we look at the likes of Ewan Jackson, he came through at the Commonwealth Games and was part of our Commonwealth Games 4x2 free relay team. So they'll be using the 400 to train up or race up to train down. Sorry, rather way around, to train to train up to race down at the 200 and use the benefit of it.
I was just thinking back what you were saying about swimmers like Sam Mackenzie and how demanding it is as a youngster, and how important it is that the coaches and the clubs and Swimming New Zealand is able to hone in on these young people and make sure that they do everything to keep them in the sport, because there are, as you mentioned, so many distractions or other attractions for young swimmers, and it's a job to keep them in there. If they're determined to be a swimmer, that's fine, but if something else is sort of at them, Swimming New Zealand and coaches and clubs have just got to be alert to that, don't they?
Yeah, and it's amazing, and you've been lucky enough to know so many of our Olympic swimmers over the years, and you look at them though, that they've been outstanding people with it. And the likes of Anthony Moss, you know, they're amazingly talented and they're very, very academic. Richard Lockhart we talked about earlier, and you know, Paul Kingsman, they're just fantastic people. Anderson, I mean, I'm going back to old names, but most of our ones that make it academically are also amazingly bright. Mark Weldon, you know, classic example, one of the most influential people in New Zealand business.
And a lot of our more recent retirees as well.
Absolutely.
Who are quickly making their mark in the outside world once they do step away from swimming. Gosh, a lot of them have moved into, you know, very impressive jobs in all aspects.
And that's all about time management, you know, great work ethic, time management that they've learned through the sport of swimming.
still leading Nathan Capp from Ewan Jackson. They have sorted out the rest of the field here. Liam Albury is third. Michael Mincham is there in fourth place.
Oh, look at Ewan Jackson coming here. We've got a bit of a fight on our hands.
Yeah. Capp looking to his right. Now has a wee check this way.
Oh, he was aware. He was definitely aware.
Certainly was. You could see slight amount of urgency there for Nathan Capp. Another victory for him. This man who's reaching his peak, age 22. Still more to do for Nathan Capp. He went to the World Short Course Championships last year and is looking for better things this year and next year. So he wins it, and so that's maximum points for the Aqua Knights. Ewan Jackson from Harlequins was second. Michael Mincham, Harlequins third. Liam Albury of All-Star in fourth place. And Chris McFadden of Marcos was fifth. We're getting through these races here. This 2015 Zonal Championships, supported by the Brian Perry Charitable Trust and lots of other supporters and sponsors as well, making sure that our young swimmers get to experience this sort of meeting, which is so very popular in the States. Butterfly now. Bobby Gishard is in this. We've seen how exciting she is, not only here but in previous meets, as she now reaches the grand old age of 15. Up at the top, Ella Drinnen of Harlequins. Inside, Caitlin Tippett of Aqua Knights. Elena Forlong of All-Star. She's in lane 6. But two inside them is Victoria McTeague in 4. And Hamilton, where do we see that? Devon Hamilton.
Well, Kyra Forrest, the smoker in lane number 1, went through the first 50 metres out in front with a 30 point. She's come into this event with no time whatsoever. So the others wouldn't have been expecting this, and she's holding up. It's only 100 metres butterfly, but she's got this race wrapped around her little knuckles.
It's interesting. You don't tend to watch those outside lanes much out of habit, but of course it doesn't matter. So where's she? Clara Forrest.
For the Marcos, only 14 years of age.
Yeah, look at this. Oh, she's painted up and raring to go. We saw her earlier. She's relaxed. You've got a good mate down that way. He's probably texting you to say, don't you know about this girl? Quickly into the pool again. Women's 16 and over, 100 butterfly. Caitlin Mann, watch for her in lane 5. In lane 3 we see Jenna Buchanan, and in lane 4 Helena Gasson. Holly Parker in 1, Emily Rennell in 2. Up the top, Maggie Burns and Chelsea Arhand. In lane 8, this is a 100 butterfly for 16 and overs.
Yeah, the pretty experienced Helena Gasson in lane number 4, 29 over the first 50 metres. And she looks as if she's got this race sewn up completely. 1.5 body length advantage.
It's over Jenna Buchanan. We can see her to the left of Gasson.
It's a great race for
falling
second.
Off. Yeah. Lane 6, Angela Rusk from Marcos. And it's not cut and dried for second and third here as they chase valuable points. Certainly a comfortable win for Gasson. But in second place, Emily Rennell. Third was Jen Buchanan, and in fourth place, Alicia Rusk. Right. The points are becoming crucial.
Because you could see the piano hit him there, didn't you, in the second and third. They were struggling to come into the wall.
Just looking now, combined scores, Harlequins still hold a comfortable lead of 150 points. But between the All-Stars and Aquanites is just 1 point now. 1,008 to 1,009. 50 points back, Southern Marcos. It looks, with a few races still to go, the Harlequins will hang on for this, but just needs a couple of jokers and them to miss out on big points. And one of those other 3 teams could sneak in.
Well, we saw Jordan Wilson in lane number 6 for the Harlequins, only 14 years of age, win the 200 metres butterfly. He's not having it all his own way over the first 50 metres of this 100 butterfly, because it is Satori Dobi from the Marcos, the 15-year-old in lane number 3, who went down in a 27.7 and looks very strong. Because 1 year development from 14 to 15 in boys is a huge physical development,
isn't it?
And physical change.
Satori, Xavier Hill in 4, up there in 6, 7, it's Oliver Rayner of Marcos. So that's Dobby of Marcos and Rayner of Marcos. Good points there for the Marcos, 1st and 3rd.
Yeah, good time too from Dobby, 57.80, that's a personal best.
Xavier Hill from Kiwi West Aquatic for 2nd for All-Stars. So this battle in the middle, or for 2nd, 3rd and 4th, continues at the Zonal Championships. 26 points for 1st in each of these races. 21 for 2nd, 17, 12, 10, 8, 6 and 4 for 8th. Daniel Bell steps up again in lane 6.
Yeah, he's actually had a lot of swimming when you think about it, because he also did the Olympians, not the Olympians relay, but the Legends relay.
Plus a couple of backstroke events. And
Nelson Baroy, interestingly, is in lane number 3, the New Zealand 50-metre champion. He will not be enjoying doing 100 metres butterfly, because he is a drop-dead sprinter.
That's right. Anything past 50 and he wants to go home.
Definitely.
That looks like Bell touching first. Daniel Bell does touch first in the men's 100 fly. Bell swimming for the Aquanites. This is his last meet. Willie Coetzee of Harlequins drifts up alongside him. Bell with all that experience. What's his conditioning like? Coetzee hits him.
Oh, it's hurting.
Bell holds.
Right now.
It is hurting. Coetzee and Bell. Coetzee's going to outlast Bell. Touches first ahead of Bell. Up the top there in 3rd was, I think, Willie Campbell of Marcos.
I tell you what, John, though, that was a tremendous finish by Daniel Bell, because he was beaten, he was gone for all money, and he came through. That was all the experience on the finish. If you see that again in slow motion, it'll be an indication of how he used the timing into the wall, and then the drive. Just kept his head down, had a full arm stroke. He lost it, but only lost it by 0.2 of a second. So there's the shot, keeps his head down, drives into the wall, keeps his momentum, because he was gone.
Yeah. I think he's saying, thank goodness that's over. 100 butterfly gone. Up to the 200 breaststroke. So each of the 4 zones have a couple of swimmers in each event, chasing points for the title and the trophy. Lucy Gordon, Marcos down here in 1. Jessica Igo, All-Stars in 2. Ruby Matthews, Aquanites in 3. Michaela Dance of Harlequins in 4. Then Clara Foster, Shannon Szymanski, Sacha and Ali Eastwood.
Yeah, it's interesting. We're looking at the 200 metres breaststroke, and all of these teams, I mean, a breaststroker is an out-and-out specialist, you know, whether they're the 100 metres breaststroke or the 200 metres breaststroke. And traditionally, because they turn their feet outwards, a bit like a Charlie Chapman or walk like a penguin, they generally can't do other strokes. And so do you risk taking a true breaststroker that can win a gold medal or a silver medal in these events and get a lot of points, or do you bring somebody in just to finish 5th and 6th? And that's the dilemma that the selectors would have had in choosing all of their teams.
Sometimes you're thrown a starting list but has one word there, and that was Sacha, but it's Sacha McCormick-Gurt of St. Peter's, swimming for the Aquanites. She's up in lane 7. The 200 metre breaststroke. And look at the different styles here in lanes 5 and 6. In lane 5, it's Clara Foster. In lane 6, Shannon Szymanski. And down here in lane 1, Lucy Gordon of Marco's.
Yeah, just looking at the times of these swimmers, 1:19 through the first 100 metres. Generally, that's not a particularly fast time. So most of these girls would probably come from a medley background, and so they have to do a certain amount of breaststroke, but they're not out-and-out breaststrokers as such.
Most recent update, Harlequins 1375 points. All-Stars 1242, that's 1,242. That's 9 ahead of Aquanites. That just changes around all the time. And only 40 points adrift in 4th place, Southern Marcos.
Well, the Marcos are going to pick up valuable points here because Lucy Gordon in lane number 1, the 15-year-old, has about a 1 body length advantage. She's got 30 metres still to swim. Such a unique stroke.
Lucy Gordon from Aqua Gym.
So easy to force the breaststroke and actually lose complete timing as well. It's an incredibly fatiguing stroke.
So the winner's down here in lane 1, but who's going to finish second? Lanes 5 and 4, 4 and 5. Michaela Dance of Harlequins, Clara Foster of Marcos, so it may well be that Marcos finished 1 and 3. Yeah, so that'll close the gap.
Gosh, and they could have very easily been 1 and 2 there as well.
That's good news for Marcos fans. Lucy Gordon and Clara Foster, so that's 1st and 3rd. That gives them 26, 40 points out of this. 0.74, 0.80, 0.83. That's 2nd, 3rd and 4th. So Marcos 1 and 2, Harlequins 1 and 3, Harlequins 2 and 4. All-Stars dropping back, but still holding their head above Aquanites probably. A return to the pool for some of our best breaststrokers, including Abby Johnson in 5, Caitlin Delaney, Kendall Reedy, so Simone Cowling in lane 1, Sammy Winwood of Marcos, Brona Ryan, All-Stars, Madeleine Mason, Abby Johnson in lane 5. In lane 6 in the grey we can see Caitlin Delaney, then the black cap up towards the top is Nikki Chapman, and Kendall Reedy up at the top for the Aquanites. So Abby Johnson with North Shore Club. Simone Cowling swimming in lane 1 from Harlequins.
Kendall Reedy doing a really good job in lane number 8. We've talked about her in the first session, policewoman from Hastings out of Central Hawke's Bay. And she led for so much of that 100 metres breaststroke, just died in the last little part to be beaten. But it is Abby Johnson in lane number 5. Very good 200-metre breaststroker. Must be interesting in her flat. She's flats with one of our weightlifters, won a double silver medal at the Commonwealth Games. That must be interesting talk.
Different diets, I'd say.
Very different diets. I wonder who bench presses who in the flat. You wouldn't want to throw your weight around, would you?
No, that's true. Abby Johnson there touching and more convincing in the longer breaststroke.
Yeah, her stroke lends itself to the 200 metres breaststroke. Just a lot more flow. Look at the amount of time that she's in the streamlined position as well. Trying to get maximum distance out of each kick. She looks good. Looks good in this 200 breaststroke.
So Reedy up at the top, looks set for second place. Second and third may well be lane 6, Caitlin Delaney, and down here in 3, Bronner Ryan. Harlequins, Aquanites, Marcos. Abby Johnson happy with that one, and she wins it for her Harlequins team. Aquanites second, Marcos third, All Stars fourth, All Stars fifth as well, Marcos sixth.